side event of today, that is technological innovations for Nexus Optimization. In this session, we have two presenters. The total duration of the session is 45 minutes. And we have two presenters. The first presenter is Dr. Alok Sikka. He would be presenting on the theme itself, the same theme, technological innovations for Nexus Optimization. Dr. Alok Sikka is a veteran in agricultural engineering and water resources engineering. He was long associated with Government of India, and then after that he was associated with International Water Management Institute as country representative. He has just retired, hung his boots on 28th February, and now he is Emeritus Scientist in IWMI. The second presenter is Mr. Chandan Kumar Thakur. He is Vice President, Vassar Labs, based in Hyderabad. And he would be presenting on from dams or reservoirs to dinner plates, the various processes from reservoir to dinner plates and how to maximize the yield or output with minimum efforts and minimum resources. So his presentation would be on that. So I would not be taking much of your time, and I humbly request Dr. Sikka to take the presentation.
So thank you, Dr. Rishi. And I think some of you might be knowing I have a very long association with Rishi, and I always used to tell that he was, I think I'll be on here also. Now it's coming. Because he is one of those I came across as a part of the government when we used to meet more regularly in Amarjit Singh's room, then Secretary Water Resources. And he has always been considered as one of the most genius person. So I always say openly, because he was one of those I think I always felt very comfortable and very happy to interact with. So anyway, now to cut the long story short, I am going to be talking about something which is most befitting to this entire topic of transversality and ESG, and more focused because the session was on innovation in technology for Nexus Optimization. So the way here I am going to talk about is Nexus gains, because as I was telling yesterday also, that for the last 4 years we are having a project which I think Rishi and some of you might be knowing, and I am leading in India, and we are working on Ganga Basin, where we are doing that's water, energy, food, environment nexus gains. So means how best you can convert those trade-offs into synergies. So that's kind of, but always the challenge has been that how to measure that. The challenge was that how to measure that, because conceptually we all were talking about this thing, but if I say there is a nexus, but can somebody say that it is skewed on which direction, negative or the positive directions, or what is the measure of that? So first of all, as you know, I think in this house I don't have to elaborate upon the fact that why it is needed, because Indian agriculture and so is the South Asian agriculture is highly energy and water intensive. Because when we say energy, because your 64% irrigation comes from groundwater, so that's one of the reasons that that's groundwater. Again, there are a number of lift irrigation schemes, like the state from where he comes from, I was talking to him, mostly the lift irrigation schemes are so. There also you are putting in a lot of energy. So that is a nexus that we are talking about, and so it means if we are inefficiently using water, it means we are also inefficiently excessive use of energy. And then also the food which we are producing, that is also not being done with the right proportion of energy and water. So everywhere the things are getting skewed towards the negative direction. So this is something that, and if you look into the India situation, about 20% of energy goes into agriculture and largely in pumping groundwater. It may be 19% or it varies like that. And we did some work some 4 years back with Sharad Jain, who was earlier the director of NIH, and we worked together in trying to see what is there any coherence in the policies which are related with directly, because you know water cuts across many departments, many ministries. Somebody says 16, but it is even more than 16. So we wanted to see, so we came across 40 programs across water, agriculture, environment, rural development, blah blah blah, all those ministries. And then we looked into all those components, but there is no synergy. It really, there is a lack of coherence, and this is something that our paper has also been published in the Frontiers, where we have shown that how there are vertical silos. And so it means there is a need for doing some kind of integrated approach, which is water, energy, food, environmental nexus. And when we are talking about the ESG, in case of ESG, it really fits into well into that, because ESG, when we are talking, it needs more of a monitoring and also the quantification. So it means then there is a need to try and see that not only as a concept, but as a practice, that how you can really measure that. So this is something that when you look into this nexus, it's a kind of a triangle sitting water, and the idea is that we don't want to look at it in isolation. It has to be seen as a systems approach. Unless you look at it as a systems, you are not going to get the any end objective. So that is why these are all interconnectedness, interdependencies is there, and that's why we call it as a nexus. So it is not like a Gunda politician nexus or whatever. It's a nexus in a right way, in a right sense, because if you do something good in water, but some policies of the energy sector are skewed up, like in Punjab, Haryana and other places, electricity is almost free. Even if you got now direct seeded rice ke liye, we are giving incentive and for AWD and everything, but that incentive is far less than the free energy which they are getting. So it means the policies are again skewed. You are doing it kind of a cosmetic way, but there is still a gap. Unless you make the attractive incentive, it's not going to work. So those are the kind of a thing, and that is where it has to be seen that how all these sectors, they work in unison, at least at the policy level and the planning level. Execution level, of course, nobody is going to give their funds to another. When we talk of convergence, everybody will keep their funds, but at least planning should be done properly. Execution, we leave it. And water, well, water is a unifying thread, because everything revolves around water in this case. So it means the idea is how best we move from the siloed approach to the more nexus optimization, as the very rightly Rishi, you have kept the title also Nexus Optimization. We call Nexus Gains, but you said Nexus Optimization. That is still better, because gain could, so here you are trying to optimize it. So this is something that you are going from the traditional to a more interconnected approach, and here we are also telling that not only the real time data or the historical data, but also we are looking into the future planning. So you have to do the scenario based analysis, because unless we do the scenario based analysis, policy makers can't make any investment decisions, because how the climate is going to change, how the land use is going to change, the cropping and everything, and then you can give. So here on the left hand side, you will see there are a number of ways that not many people have been working, but there are some people over the last couple of years, they started working on developing the indices to measure nexus, and including modeling, very few, but mostly we are working using some radar chart or sustainability polygons, which down below you will see one of my paper along with my other colleagues from Africa region, and I think Sylvester is also, perhaps you know Sylvester, no, other Sylvester guys are there. So where we had also seen that when people they say you do drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation and replace furrow irrigation or surface irrigation, other methods, there we have shown that maybe sometimes if you say you put drip irrigation or you put sprinkler irrigation replacing furrow irrigation, what happens? Maybe you might be saving some water, but energy consumption, because you need at least 25 meter head, 2.5 per centimeter square psi pressure. So that is where you have to see what is balancing out what. And if I try to monetize that, I am still not monetizing. The next approach I am doing is now to do the monetization also. So that then, so this is something that we try to look into on the right hand side under our global science program, which is still now going on Nexus gains. We have developed this integrated hydrological modeling, and of course we did the modeling not for this purpose, but we use this modeling for all these things because it will give a more system wide approach, and then you can play around with any scenario, and then also multi-scale integration, and whatever the climate change scenarios you want to put, the land use, energy, irrigation, all those things you can kind of plug it into that. So this is in a more pictorial way, because my colleague who is the co-author, and because he is the modeler, I have been the modeler, but now I don't do modeling, that's not my job. I have to tell them how to model it, and so I give the concept and the approach, they do the number crunching, and here, so that is why these young guys, they can put this very nice AI generated charts and figures. So here you can see that how we move from the siloed approach and putting here in this case what I am going to show is the SWOT plus and the GW flow and its integrated modeling, and then we have developed our WEF DSS and then policy scenarios and what are the sustainable outcomes. So this is something that I am going to be talking about, and this is the entire framework of for the modeling. We have done the modeling of Ganga Basin. The Ganga Basin has been divided into about 6,000 HRUs, hydrological response unit, using all the thematic layers, and this is where now what we have done is that this thing we are looking into, and as I said, QSWOT, SWOT plus and the GW flow model and various layers. I am not going to go into the details of all these kind of things that as you can see. Now this is the entire DSS framework which we have. So right now with this you don't have to really go and run the separate DSS for separate SWOT model, everything is built into this thing. That what is this thing? Now this has been integrated, this is the DSS framework, and then you can run the scenarios. So right below on the left hand side, the bottom is our DSS, which is, I think we have put it in a semi-public domain, still we have not put it, but one can always get it from us. So this is something, and then we wanted to see if you are doing this, using this modeling approach for doing the Nexus thing, how the Nexus is behaving like, then we are doing various scenarios. If you want to make an Nexus gain, optimization, you have to see how to improve the efficiency. If I change the irrigation efficiency, do I gain? In which way I gain? Maybe the gain in western, northwestern India will be different than in the eastern India, and groundwater recharge increase, irrigated area, crop diversification, various methods of planting and other agronomical measures. So all these things can be evaluated for business as usual and for various futuristic scenarios, including climate change. Now we have included the climate change as well into this thing. So that's that part. Now the main thing comes, which has not been done so far, to develop composite WEF index. Now here what we have done, we have looked into all these things, and wherein we have tried to see that what are the three verticals. Three pillars are water, energy and food. So we have taken that in case of water, what is availability and the productivity, water product, energy availability and energy productivity, food production and food productivity. So now these are the three pillars which are there, and against that you have taken these two indicators. We normalize that, and right now we have not, and we are not giving equal weight. We are putting in the polygon, and then the weights are derived automatically by that. Of course, one approach is you can do also kind of a, to start with you can give the equal weightage, but this is the weightage which is data driven in this case. So this is how then you develop your composite index, and that I was showing you on the two slides before that. On the left hand side are DSS. You run it, and this is how you will try to get the information on this thing, wherein you can say, like here, what is that you want to look into as a scenario. Like here it says select energy efficiency, increase energy efficiency, irrigation efficiency. Irrigation efficiency by what percentage, say by 20% or whatever, and then it says wage efficiency. So those are the kind of things that you can select, increasing efficiency. And then what we have also done, that we are doing this thing, say where the groundwater development is over 75%, because those are the more priority areas. Where the groundwater development is hardly any, why should I unnecessarily waste my time? So this is the way that you have to, you can also prioritize it. So now when I run that, it gives me the index, composite index for business as usual on the left hand side, and on the right hand side what you get is a percentage gain in terms of the water energy food index. So you will see the colors changing, and there is a gain up to about more than 10% just by increasing the irrigation efficiency, and not in the entire Ganga basin, only in those districts where the groundwater development is 75% plus. So I mean you can do it anyway, but this is the one which we have just for the case of, for the sake of example. So now this tells us that this is just one thing. If I want to again add on to this other scenarios, I can do that also, or you can play around with it, because this becomes like a tool for you to play. So any policy makers, the only thing is, as I said, we have not monetized it. Now the purpose is to put the cost and how much money you are going to benefit. So this is again, we have done the crystallize it at the district level, like for the three districts, Hapur, Palwal and Bulandshahr, and we are linked it also with this thing, that in some cases maybe, that is why I always say that I would not go blindly to move in a very positive direction for the overall composite index, because if I am working in Haryana or Punjab, even if my index towards water saving, I would aim at a much higher level than the energy, so that there the purpose is water conservation, groundwater conservation. So that is why we can use it blindly also, but you can also see it how every component can be played around, because that is how I can prioritize the areas for that. So these are the, now here I am doing it by increasing the groundwater recharge. When we are increasing the groundwater recharge by certain interventions, how it is behaving, and so then again for various districts, how that indices are changing and how the sustainability polygon. So in this case, what you guys have mentioned, that optimization of the nexus. So this is how this tool can be used to run through various scenarios. Like why we did that? Because policy makers say crop diversification करना है, कितना crop diversification करना होगा कि यह ठीक होगा कि नहीं होगा. Now that was one tool which has done at the basin level. We have already done it for separately for Ramganga basin, sub-basin. The beauty is that the way we have set it up is that every district, every state, every sub-basin in the Ganga basin, I can separately model it. Because if I want to run the scenario for district Saharanpur and then see how it will translate फरक्का में जाके, तो देखना है translation and effect भी कहाँ तक जाएगा. So that is the reason that I say that okay, you look at it Saharanpur, change it and then see how it is within the district, like what we call spatial scaling, because effect at one place will not have it entire basin. So that is the purpose we have been doing there, and so that is why what we have done is kind of a GRUs, group response unit, meaning that those HRUs are clubbed and numbered to become one district, one sub-basin or basin. So that is how it can be done in a distributed modeling, and here validation and calibration is not done at just the Farakka outlet, but at multiple points. Because this is something I learned while I was doing my PhD in the US. I said I will not believe at just the one point we know as a modeler कि कैसे उसको match करा देना है. So unless I match it at distributed points, then only I will be more satisfied. Because I can make a R square of 0.9 or whatever, but I have to see it. So that is something that, now this one is a different approach. But to address the same thing, this is at every district level, you can do it also at the command level. Now this one is more from water productivity atlas which we have developed, which is now sitting in Government of India's MOJS IWRS website also. Because when we did it 1.5 years back, Madam Secretary wanted that we put it in the website, so we have done it after that. So here the beauty is that I can play with this water productivity atlas, that if I have to change the crop diversification from one crop to another, or now I have put the climate change scenario and energy productivity. So this is how, for example, now if I say in Saharanpur, in Sonipat district of Haryana, I partially reduce the area of rice, sugarcane and wheat and replace it by sorghum, pearl millet and vegetables. Now by doing that, we have reduced the groundwater footprints, we have decreased the energy footprints because we have increased the energy water productivity, and we have increased the economic water productivity and also the nutritional water productivity. So it means, so there is a win-win situation, and this is the same composite index now we have built in here also. So you can use the same, put that data into a composite index and you can change this distribution. Now we are working on this further and even at a command area. So the core technologies for Nexus gain optimization, because here we have used some of them, not all of these, but AI ML now, because we can always put it through AI ML because using all the data sources, and we can also link it with IoT and sensors based and this kind of approach, how it works at the field. And now we are working on digital twins, because digital twin is a thing which even in the MCAD as a knowledge partner, we have proposed that we will be happy to work on the digital twins with them. I know now NMCG is working on something, IIT Delhi is working with them on digital twins. I know because of our being international, थोड़ा सा दिक्कत हो जाता है सरकारी काम लेने में. So but anyway, that's something that we are trying to be looking into. And this is what the concept of digital twin is, that what you are modeling, you can see pictorially how the things are behaving, so that seeing is the best believing. So with this, I leave you with these few messages, that this kind of a matrix, this kind of a decision support system really has a big value when we run it with scenario based trade-off analysis to try and see how to optimize this nexus gains. So this is something, so this kind of a decision support tools or digital tools they offer. And then as I said, digital twins for more adaptive, if you want to be more adaptive and resilient, this is something that going forward we should do it. And but doing all these things, we have to think beyond water, really to act, to manage water well. If we don't, हम अगर कूप मंडूक हो जाएंगे अपने ही उसमें तो नहीं होगा. So that's something that if we really want to manage water well, we have to think far beyond that. And finally, these things will not happen unless we get into transdisciplinary approach. So I think with this, thank you very much. I do not know, maybe I might have a little bit overrun the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sikka. Your presentation, at least I could understand what you were saying, because we have almost similar background. Our next presenter is Mr. Chandan Kumar Thakur, and as I told you, he would be presenting on processes from dams to dinner plates, how to optimize them and how to maximize the gains with minimum efforts and minimum resources. So I invite Chandan, please come.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Okay. So, hello everyone. This is Chandan here from Vassar Labs, and today I'll be I was planning to be more technical, but right now, seeing the audience, I'll be making it more, fun and interactive, and slightly audio visual will be there. So to keep it more, interesting, right? So. The topic I have chosen is AI-driven innovations. Technology, when we say technology, we are more focused in AI right now because it's trending and the company is AI-driven. So AI-driven innovations for water, energy, food, and climate nexus. That is what we will be talking today. Okay, so what is Vassar Labs and what do we do here? Vassar Labs is an AI-powered climate tech company which uses data from several sources. So maybe, IoT sensors, GIS, edge computing, several other technologies, emerging technologies, including blockchain, to create a decision support system for decision makers to take proper, prompt, timely decisions that saves, even economically, and that gives economic benefit, even saves livelihood and lives. So we are there in primary sectors, including water, agriculture, disaster, smart city. Okay. Some of the clients that we have worked with, so it includes the Ministry of Saudi Arabia, not only in India, US Department of Energy, and blah blah. So many things are there. Relevant experience that we have at large scale. So when we say large scale, it is like at a country scale or a state level. So we have worked with the Ministry of Environment and Water Resource, Saudi Arabia. India, as such, the Government of India. Then we have worked with Telangana, Andhra for water resource management system, right? In disaster also, there are several clients, including Kerala, where we have developed a fuse that is called flood inundation system for Government of Kerala, which gives them the forecasting and, gives them alert when the flood will be coming way ahead in time to take interventions, to take proper, measures. Then in agriculture, key projects that we have done is for the state of Andhra Pradesh. We were there with them for AP AIMS, that is AP, Andhra Pradesh Agriculture Information Management System. Right now, we have also implemented 2.0, that is the DPI. So DPI means Digital Public Infrastructure. We have created the entire DPI of agriculture for the state of Andhra Pradesh and Kerala. So when you say DPI, it is, entire journey from mapping the farmer to its farm, to the crop they have grown in the farm, to the stage of the crop in that farm, when they should harvest, when they should sow, when they should give any intervention in their farm, when should they harvest it, where they can sell it. So entire supply chain. Okay, we'll talk about it later. So here you can see this circle, right? This is powered by our platform called Aquawise. Okay, the Aquawise is the platform which powers the different products we have in the entire journey of water. As sir was saying, we have started, we have mapped water all the way from its source. So we do take care of the rainfall to the water that is there in the reservoir, dam, lakes, groundwater is a water condition of that area. Then water flows to the city. We have a product dedicated for city water management called AquaCity. Then water goes to the farms through different channels. So we have aqua irrigation for that matter. Then we also go to the farm level. So for the farm, we have a dedicated product called FieldWise. So that is dedicated for the farmers and farms. We'll be also seeing that. So this is the basic technology stack that we use for AquaWise. So to make it very simple, we have a base layer where we have all the data coming in, flowing from different sources, Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2, Landsat, other satellites. Then we have even at at the micro level, we have mobile data ingestion also. So the pipeline is very robust. Over a period of a decade now, we have made this pipeline very robust. It can ingest several data. The objective is to generate relevant outputs that a stakeholder can use it to take care of his daily activities, to make his or her life simple. Okay, so now here the interesting part is, so as I was telling you, we have bucketed all the products in its category where the nexus or where the linkages are. So water for all, that is at a scale level, we have products like AquaWarims, that is water resource information system, AquaMind, that is a GenAI based product that helps to take decision on your palm. So you have a mobile, you talk to it, or maybe ask the queries. You don't have to drill down the dashboards, and it can give you the input. It can give you the output basically that you are looking for. AquaSed is at shed level, so pond, lakes, those kind of reservoirs and all. Water for people. Now, when the water comes to the city, as I told you, we have a dedicated product, AquaCity, where you can manage the urban water network. So the stakeholder, like the municipality, can see what is the condition of his or her area, where will be the demand coming from. So it is a forecasting. You can see where is the pattern also, where is the demand coming from, where is the most number of leakages happening in the area, okay? And then according to it, you can take preventive measures, okay, and interventions. Then we have drill it further down to so facility level. So for example, if we have a commercial space, if we have SEZs, okay, so there the condition would be totally different. So there we have, we need to manage how the water is behaving, how to preserve water, how to conserve water, the STP, everything. So water discharge. So at that level, we will be monitoring. Now water for food, where we have dedicated product. I told you it is field wise. It starts all the way from irrigation. So we have aqua irrigation, which serves the purpose of sending water, properly optimizing the flow of water to the farms, and then the field wise takes care of the productivity and other things at the farm, okay. And then for planet, we have aqua drop. Planet means as in disaster management. So we have aqua flood, which manages the aqua drought, and aqua flood, which manages the disaster part of water. So water in excess and water in scarcity, both is a problematic scenario. So we have a dedicated product for that as well, okay. So we'll start from water for all, and here, as I told you, the problem statement is, lack of real-time visibility and predictive insights at a scale, at a state level, where the state the government basically wants to know what is the status of water in his or her state, okay, so that they can manage the demand and supply. The gap should not be there. If any gap is there, there would be problems arising, right? So in order to manage that, we have this AquaWarims, which gives a unified large-scale water management dashboard for the stakeholders, right? Instead of me blabbering too much, I'll play this very interesting video that is made by our marketing team. So maybe you will find it interesting, and it will give you some insights how we are doing this, right?
Satellite data, and digital twins, WARIMS is redefining how water is governed, not just in India, but across the globe. WARIMS builds a living digital twin of our rivers, reservoirs, canals, tanks, and aquifers. An intelligent model that lets planners, engineers, and leaders see the movement of water in real time and take decisions with confidence. It integrates rainfall data from thousands of stations, combines it with high-resolution weather forecasts, and predicts floods and droughts well in advance, giving governments precious time to act. Reservoirs are no longer managed in isolation. Real-time inflow forecasting and automated operation tools ensure that every drop is stored, shared, and released with precision. Beneath the surface, WARIMS tracks groundwater through thousands of wells, analyzing recharge, depletion, and even water quality parameters across seasons. Above the ground, it measures soil moisture, crop zones, and irrigation demand and pump scheduling for water transfer, helping farmers receive just the right amount of water at the right time. Every village can now have its own water budget, balancing rainfall, runoff, and demand, while at a state level, complete water audits ensure that supply, consumption, and losses are transparent and accountable. With geotagged dashboards, governments can even track the progress of thousands of irrigation projects in real time, while mobile apps empower field engineers and citizens to become active partners in managing water. Across India, WRIMS is delivering transformative results.
Andhra Pradesh has achieved unprecedented water management precision through AP WARIMS, monitoring over 2,000 rainfall stations, 155 automatic water level sensors, and 38,000 minor irrigation tanks, delivering 7-day advanced flood predictions to proactively safeguard millions of livelihoods.
APWRIMS లో మొత్తం ఈ పోర్టల్లో మీరు చూస్తే మహేంద్ర తనయ దగ్గర నుంచి ఇరిగేషన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ మేజర్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, మీడియం ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి, నీళ్ళు ఎంత ఉన్నాయి, గ్రౌండ్ వాటర్ ఎంత ఉంది, సాయిల్ మాయిశ్చర్ ఎంత ఉంది, all details అన్ని ఉన్నాయి.
Telangana leverages a digital twin of the world's largest lift irrigation project. WARIMS supports 3 million farmers and 300 government officers with real-time insights. Enhanced transparency in dam and pump operations has revolutionized irrigation efficiency, optimizing distribution across the state's agricultural landscape. Tamil Nadu is transforming water management through TN WARIMS, delivers smart irrigation optimization, accurate rainfall and demand forecasting, comprehensive water audits, and mobile-enabled last-mile visibility. Kerala strengthens its flood preparedness through advanced early warning systems that deliver 3-hour forecasts at 15-minute intervals with over 90% accuracy and 1-day-ahead predictions. The platform enables 2D simulations at city scale, protecting coastal and inland communities from monsoon-related disasters. Odisha's Go Water benefits from integrated digital water management that provides real-time insights on over 57 reservoirs, while tracking 70-plus irrigation projects, 4,000-plus observation wells, and delivering advanced flood prediction.
WARIMS is also empowering countries globally. In Saudi Arabia, it helps manage scarce desert water resources. Kyrgyzstan uses it to optimize irrigation and river basin management. And in Malawi, it strengthens drought preparedness and improves community water security. From India to the world. Powered by AquaWise, the world's largest digital public infrastructure for water, protecting communities, crops, and ecosystems alike.
Right, so you saw how WARIMS is helping people take decisions when it comes to water. And this was, technology being implemented and used at scale to take and optimize the water resource. So the slide, there are so many slides I prepared for, taking into account that the session would be 1 hour, but it's okay. I'll be moving fast now because you saw everything in the video, right? Okay. So sir was also talking about this digital twin thing. We'll be talking with you, sir, to make it more optimized. And we are using it for Kaleswaram as well, for the Telangana lift, water lift. That is one of the world's largest lift irrigation scheme ever. So it is huge, huge. So the energy consumption is also huge. So in order to save the energy, we need to optimize the whole system, right? Now I'll be moving towards Aqua City. As I told you, the problem in the city is again the information and the data, SCADA data, all are in silos. So the data not talking to each other. If it is not interacting with each other, there is no insight, and if there is no insight, you can't take proper and timely decisions. So what we do, as I told you, we manage the whole platform. We see to that the data is actually talking to each other, and there is relevant insight gained out of this data, which the users can use to take proper decision. So it makes the whole system proactive instead of reactive. So if there is a leak detection, if there is a leak happening somewhere in the city, and by the time you know that, right, it's already late and there is a huge loss of water. If your asset management with AI can detect the leak way advance in time, because you are getting an alert, there is a pressure drop, or there is some increase in increase in the vibration, the system detects and it gives you an alert. You go proactively before time and do the correction, intervene there. You save time, money, and even the process is easier, both for the citizen and for the stakeholders, right? Okay, so we move from city to, so basically in city we have almost 7 to 8 modules where we do connection management, we do consumer grievances. So there is an app for the the citizens where they can raise grievances, go for connection, disconnection. If there is any leakage they find, they can take a picture from their mobile phone, upload in the system, it will be sent to the relevant person, they can act over it, right? They get, the stakeholders get the water demand forecasting. Non-revenue water, this is one of the very critical, 2 things that is very critical in the urban water management system is, one, non-revenue water, second is water quality monitoring. Non-revenue water, when we talk about it, it doesn't only means the leakage, it also means the non-payment of bills. So there are segments in the city itself where there is like less payment, there is no payment actually. Then some people illegally consume water. So identifying those pockets in order to treat them properly. So in order to go and intervene and ask for money, or maybe stop the loss, right? Okay, we have Gen AI for Aquamine, as I already told you. I will not take much time here. So it also helps in the same thing, making life easier. Now we go to water for the planet, where we have disaster management called Aqua Flood. Again, due to this current climate change, the pattern has changed. It's not like the rainfall pattern has changed. It's drastic and sudden. There are so many cloud bursts happening. Even the population settlement on the hilly areas, which were not there, landslides affecting them. So many things are interrelated. Urban flood, Saudi Arabia, we got that because Saudi faced flood recently. That was like unprecedented in their history. They were not even knowing what to do next. Okay, so the problem statement here is unpredictable flood, inadequate flood risk mapping, because you don't know how much. If you don't know how much your city will receive water when the rain happens, you don't get prepared for it. So you need to understand the stormwater drainage system of your city. If certain amount of rainfall is going to happen, how do you manage that? So way before in time, so that you take preventive action when it happens in real time. So we make the decision support system for that as well. I'll go move fast to water for food. This is interesting. So when water now is about to reach the farm, as I told you, we have a dedicated product called Aqua Irrigation, which manages the water flow to the farm, right, from the canals, from the reservoir. So again, I'll play a small video. Okay, this is Aqua Irrigation.
Aqua Irrigation, smart irrigation decision support system developed to optimize water use efficiency in the canal command areas. The platform creates digital twin of canal network and monitors water flow in canal command areas. It does rainfall analysis based on observed and forecasted data to anticipate water availability. Also provides actionable insights on groundwater levels, soil moisture, and crop water demand, including geospatial heat maps to visualize groundwater stress soil moisture variability, and precipitation patterns across designated command areas. The system does satellite-based surface wetness monitoring, that is sites assessments on moisture distribution across the command area. Detects over-irrigation and waterlogging to minimize water wastage. Also, identifies dry patches, allowing for targeted intervention. Aqua irrigation leverages AI-powered crop detection and classification to identify crop types in real time, analyzes crop growth patterns, delivers comprehensive crop coverage analytics, assessing alignment of water release schedules with the volumetric requirements of the actual sown area, and monitors seasonal variations, supporting adaptive water management with crop water requirement insights. The platform gives analysis on precise water demand based on crop type, growth stage, and weather conditions. This platform delivers actionable data and analytics tailored for stakeholders across the entire operational hierarchy, from policymakers to canal operators. It tracks key performance indicators, KPIs, focused on water use efficiency, agricultural productivity, and equitable water distribution. Additionally, the system facilitates the classification of agricultural fields based on seasonal crop growth patterns. Aqua irrigation also employs intelligence on irrigation schedules, wherein officers can define water cycles based on cropping season. Each individual cycle depends on the crop growth stage, which may vary from 10 to 15 days, depending on crop type. Users, based on their KPIs, can get summaries to analyze and make decisions on scheduling for optimal water utilization. The Performance and Impact Assessment module ensures continuous monitoring of irrigation. Assess canal irrigation and water utilization by tracking water requirements versus releases, seasonal supply, and irrigation efficiency. It also evaluates KPIs such as yield and water use, while empowering field engineers on water use, maintenance, and grievance resolution. Today, aqua irrigation is driving large-scale impact by being implemented in 3 states across 30 projects covering 120 million hectares from canal to field level, supporting 15 million farmers and 1,200 government officers. With aqua irrigation, we are empowering farmers, irrigation managers, and policymakers to make informed, data-driven decisions, ensuring sustainable water use, increased crop productivity, and climate-resilient agriculture. Introducing.
So here you saw like how water is being managed when it reaches, before it reaches the farm, right? So we do make a irrigation decision support system for the irrigation department. We have implemented it in 3 states, more than 30 projects right now, and more than 120 million hectares of farmland. Now I'll be talking about last mile. So the water now reaches the farm. So the product is field-wise. It is again a digital platform, digital public infrastructure that we have made for farmers and the agriculture department, which includes this circle now focused at a agriculture level. So connecting each farm to the farmer and the crop, that itself is a huge task. So we are partnering with stakeholders like Google and Microsoft for this, right? So we have mapped in Kerala and in Andhra Pradesh, each farmer to the farm, not the cadastral farm, to the farm boundaries. We have used AI to detect the farm using the satellite data and several other, the data from the revenue department and all. So we have, verified it, done ground truthing also from the, because our customers are government itself. So we take help from them as well. And it is a huge task, this model itself. Then now it helps in crop planning. So basically, the farm lies in which agroclimatic zone. What is the soil type? What is the moisture in the, what is the moisture content in that zone? What is the environmental condition in that zone? So we also help them take decisions for planning the crop, right? Then monitoring it. Then even another very important thing and very critical intervention we help the farmers with is we give them a predictive, forecasting if there is a pest that is going to affect in their farm. not after. So basically what happens is there are several apps where you can take the picture of that crop, and you can the app can identify based on pictorial analysis that what kind of pest it is, or maybe what kind of effect it is going to is happened in their crop. But once the pest has infested the zone, the farm, damage has already been done. So we give them advance forewarning, that is called pest forewarning, based on the condition right now happening in their farm, based on the crop, based on the growth, like what is the stage of the crop. Based on everything we calculate and give the AI models are being run, and they give them a forewarning so that the intervention can happen way before in time and the damage can be prevented. After this, when the crop is been harvested, we also do crop yield estimation. We suggest them through the app that where they can sell the product for maximum return for the investment. That helps them in improvising their livelihood as well. So post harvest market linkages is also there. And okay, so and we have user specific app both for the farmers and for the stakeholders. So agriculture department and other stakeholders will have a separate app and user login, and the farmers will have separate user login. And both in the both cases, it will help in improving the livelihood. So it is a low code, no code. The Fieldwise is a low code, no code environment where even a third party. So basically, when we tell it is a digital public infrastructure, any third party can also build app digital public goods on top of it. That can help the society. Maybe several use cases, depending on the use cases. Somebody wants to make a dedicated app that can serve, coconut growing farmers. It's focusing only on for them, so they can make a dedicated app on top of that, right? And it is cloud agnostic. It can go for any. We can deploy it on the premises of the government. It can work in Azure or AWS or GCP. So and then so the complete agriculture cycle is being made. Now you can connect the dots. So we started all the way from the reservoirs and the rainfall to farms. To the farms and the cities. So the complete journey. If somebody talks like we are only focusing on leak water, city water leak detection. That is siloed approach. If we are talking about the nexus of food and climate change, we need to see the complete scenario. So I wanted to run this video, but it's okay. Here you can see that I talked about digitization of the farm boundaries, crop detection and classification, monitoring the crop growth, yield prediction, and crop growth monitoring at field level. So this is what is enabling the agriculture data stack and field alerts, complete cycle. So that's it, friends, from my side. Hope you like the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandan, for that very insightful presentation. If anyone has any questions, then we can take some 2-3 questions. If not, then we'll conclude the session. Or you can mail them also. If you have a detailed question, then the answer would be in detail. Or over the lunch.